Am I the asshole because I don't want to show my bank account to my boyfriend? I am 25 years old and my boyfriend is 23 years old. We got into an argument because I do not want to show him my bank account. He says it is childish and weird. But honestly, we have only been together for 5 months. It is none of his business, and I feel like it could become a control thing. If my account balance is lower than his, I worry he might feel like he has some kind of power over me. I am black and he is white, and I was raised to keep financial information private. I am not trying to make it about race, but our backgrounds and how we were taught about money are clearly different. He is not my husband, so I genuinely do not understand why he wants to see my bank account so badly. He says it should not matter because he shows me his account, but I have never once asked him to show me his bank balance. He is always the one volunteering that information and talking about how much money he has. So the question is, am I the asshole for not wanting to show him my bank account?
Am I the asshole for not paying for the Airbnb? My 3 family members and I are traveling from South America to attend my PhD graduation in California in a few weeks. My mother created a splitwise for the 4 of us to divide major expenses like airfare, the rental car, and the Airbnb. My brother, who was not originally part of the group, lives in New York City and decided later that he would fly out to attend. He told us this after I had already booked and paid for the Airbnb and added the expense into Splitwise. He also plans to arrive a few days early to spend time with friends in California. For context, during the 6 years I have been in my PhD program, he has never visited me before. The issue is that he now wants to stay in our Airbnb for the last 2 nights of the trip, even though the booking only allows a maximum of 4 people. To make this work, I agreed to stay with a university friend for those 2 nights so he could have my spot. After everything was finalized, I sent him the Splitwise link and said he could join so he could pay for his portion of the Airbnb. He said it was unfair because he is already flying in from the East Coast. My mother also thinks I am being petty and cheap. She said I should just cover it because she paid for some of my driving lessons over 10 years ago and covered other expenses for me when I was a teenager. I honestly do not understand why I should pay for all 3 nights of the Airbnb when I will only be staying there for 1 night and he will be using what would have been my bed for the other 2 nights. So the question is, am I the asshole for adding him to the Splitwise?
Am I an asshole for not wanting to babysit the night before Mother's Day? My husband is 33 years old and I am 28 years old. We have an 8-year-old son together. Through our son, we became close friends with another family that has 2 daughters who are 8 and 5 years old. We've all been friends for around 3 years, and during that time, we have regularly babysat for each other whenever someone wanted a date night or just needed a break. It has always been a pretty normal arrangement. A few days ago, the husband texted my husband asking if we could watch their daughters on Saturday night because he wanted to surprise his wife with concert tickets for Mother's Day weekend. He explained that the concert would end late and they probably would not get home until around 2 or 3 in the morning. My husband first told him probably and said he would check with me. Then he called me and casually asked what we were doing Saturday. I said nothing. And apparently he took that as permission to immediately tell our friends yes. After that, he called me back and explained the actual plan. Once I heard the full situation, I told him that babysitting extra children during Mother's Day weekend was not exactly how I wanted to spend my time. He immediately got irritated and said it was not like I had plans anyway, and that I would already be around kids because we were taking our son to a birthday party earlier that day. Then he doubled down and said Mother's Day was technically on Sunday, so Saturday should not matter that much, and that it was just a day. That comment honestly hurt me. I do almost everything in our house. I cook, clean, handle most of the parenting responsibilities for our son and our dog, and I also work full-time. Mother's Day is the one day where I hope for even a little appreciation. I usually do not even get anything for Christmas or my birthday, and I have never made a big issue out of that. But this situation really pushed me over the edge. What makes this worse is that whenever we babysit, most of the responsibility falls on me. I am the one entertaining the kids, making food, breaking up arguments, organizing activities, and handling bedtime. Meanwhile, my husband usually disappears into the media room, closes the door, and plays video games because he claims he does not know how to help. On top of that, my son has ADHD, and their older daughter also has ADHD. The last time we watched them, they were running wild until after 1 in the morning. I had a headache the entire next day. My son finally fell asleep around 1 a.m., while their daughter was literally doing somersaults on our couch. So, I told my husband I did not want to babysit, especially that late into the night. He responded by saying he had already told our friends yes, and that the concert tickets had already been purchased. At that point, I told him fine. But when the girls got dropped off, I would be leaving. I said I would go see a movie and find something else to do because if he agreed to babysit without actually discussing it with me first, then he could handle the kids himself. He called me childish and unreasonable. He said I was throwing a tantrum and told me I needed to help him watch the children. I stood my ground, bought myself a ticket to the new Mortal Kombat movie, and now we are barely speaking, mostly because of him. Am I an asshole for telling my mom I am not going to put up with racism against my kid the way she did? I will try to keep this as short as possible, although honestly, this situation has been weighing on me emotionally for a long time. My mother is white and my father is black. They separated when I was very young. Growing up, I always felt stuck somewhere in between. I am not white passing, but people also do not immediately identify me as black unless I wear my natural hair down. Most people describe me as racially ambiguous. The problem is that my mother's side of the family has several openly racist people. Some make subtle comments or little jokes that are easy to brush off in public, but still cut deep when you are a child hearing them. Others are far more blatant. One of my uncles casually uses the N-word like it means nothing, and throughout my childhood, my brothers and I were exposed to all of it. What hurt the most was not even the comments themselves. It was the silence afterward. My mother never really protected us from any of it. She never confronted them, never shut it down, never removed us from those situations. We were just expected to sit there, smile politely, and endure it because that's how they are. Fast forward to now. I am 30 years old, pregnant with my first child, and preparing to become a mother myself. My partner is black, which means our son will very likely be visibly black. And honestly, the closer I get to meeting my baby boy, the more protective I feel. The idea of him ever sitting through the kind of comments I had to endure as a child makes me feel physically sick. Recently, I was talking to my mom about possibly coming home after the baby is born so my family could meet my partner and our son. During the conversation, I made it very clear that if anyone says anything racist toward my partner or my child, we are leaving immediately. No discussion, no second chances. We would simply get up and walk out because I refuse to let my son grow up accepting racism just to keep the peace. The second I said that, the entire mood changed. My mom got extremely emotional and told me I was basically calling her a bad mother for not protecting us growing up. I told her that was not what I was trying to say, but I also admitted that, yes, I do believe parents should stand up for their children in those situations. I told her that is exactly what I plan to do for my son. That completely broke her. She started crying and said, "Well, I guess I'm just the worst mother in the world." And honestly, that sentence hit me hard because suddenly the conversation stopped being about protecting my child and became about comforting her feelings instead. Now I keep replaying the entire conversation in my head, wondering if I was too harsh, too blunt, or unnecessarily hurtful. Part of me feels guilty because I know my mom has her own pain and regrets, but another part of me feels like protecting my son should come before protecting grown adults from uncomfortable truths. For context, not everyone on my mother's side is racist. It is only a few people within a very large extended family. My great-grandmother had 9 children, so there are a lot of relatives. One branch of the family is especially bad, along with an uncle who married into the family. The issue is that everyone still gathers together for large family holidays, especially Christmas. And I genuinely wanted my partner and son to be able to meet the family members who are loving and supportive. But now I am torn between wanting family connection and wanting to shield my child from the same pain I experienced growing up. So, am I the asshole for telling my mother that I will not tolerate racism against my child the way she did when I was growing up?